Some brands are naturally edgy, fun, and exciting. Sports cars, fashion, body wash. If that last one doesn't make sense to you, then you've likely never seen a commercial from Old Spice. Welcome to Context TV, and in this installment of Going Viral, we're taking a look at the resurgence of Old Spice. Before we begin, we publish new content all week long, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. Hallucinogenic imagery, quick editing, and surreal storylines have become the order of the day with the company's social media and advertising presence, but it hasn't always been that way. So how did a humble home for male grooming products become the go-to brand for WTF viral marketing? Your grandfather's scent. The roots of Old Spice date all the way back to 1937, when William Lightfoot Schultz and his company Schulten Inc. expanded their line of toiletries and soaps. The company had originally set its focus on their female clientele, with their first product, early American Old Spice, patterned after Schultz's fondness for the potpourri in his mother's home. By the end of its first year, however, Old Spice had followed up with products for men. Today, the Old Spice brand is very much tied to sailing, the ocean, and the general vibe of the sea. This is by design, as Schultz was heavily inspired by colonial history and nautical heritage. It was a theme tied into the company's imagery, design, and advertising almost from the beginning, and continues through the use of ships within the Old Spice brand. This includes the classic Old Spice whistle melody, which sounds an awful lot like an old-timey sea shanty. The company was sold to Procter & Gamble in 1990, yet their new owners did little to change the roots of Old Spice, as they were first envisioned by William Lightfoot Schultz in the 1930s. Man, you smell cool. As we mentioned earlier, it isn't exactly second nature for items like deodorant, fragrances, and body wash to feature cool, cutting-edge advertising on television. And to be fair, there wasn't all that much to distinguish Old Spice from its competitors when it came to their ads in the 70s and 80s. It wasn't so much that they were bad per se, but they didn't stand out. The Mark of a Man campaign is probably the one commercial those of a certain age might remember, as it featured Carl Orff's classical piece O Fortuna over the typical advertising hyperbole of the day. Old Spice at this time was falling in line with other campaigns of the time, occasionally adventurous, always masculine, but never really what one might call funny or cool. This all changed in 2010 when the campaign The Man Your Man Could Smell Like was introduced by the advertising firm Wieden & Kennedy.
Look down, back up. Where are you? You're on a boat with the man your man could smell like.
The lead in the campaign was Isaiah Mustafa, a former football player who addresses the women in the audience directly, while the landscape and objects around him shift in a fun and frenetic way. Horses, diamonds, concert tickets, and more all appear in and around Mustafa as he plays to the camera with humor and charisma. The ad was a huge hit, thanks largely to its sense of humor. So Old Spice doubled down on this idea and went all in with the wackiness. They filmed almost 200 individualized response videos by Mustafa for questions submitted by the internet, including some high-profile celebrities like Ellen DeGeneres and Ashton Kutcher.
Hello, old friend Ellen DeGeneres. Hope you're doing fantastic.
The campaign racked up over 40 million views in the first week alone, and made Old Spice the unequivocal rulers of the YouTube advertising game. The best of times. Old Spice wasn't content to rest on its creative laurels after the runaway success of their collaboration with Isaiah Mustafa. They hired other pro footballers to represent their cheeky brand, including Ray Lewis and Terry Crews.
Old Spice body spray will make you feel so powerful to blow your mind right in front of your face. Goodbye. Oh no!
It was with the latter that Old Spice arguably entered their golden years of advertising greatness, as the clips became more outlandish and surreal. Bright colors, light-speed editing, and Crews' boisterous energy all combined to deliver commercials that seemed to be competing with each other to see which one could be the weirdest. It seemed as if there was nothing Old Spice wouldn't try, whether it was invading other ads from Bounce or Charmin to the ultra-bizarre muscle music clip, with Crews playing an entire orchestra with his body. The company even tried their hand at releasing a viral hit song, and succeeded.
Oh, I didn't see it coming, but it came in a can.
The Smelcome to Manhood campaign from 2014 debuted during the Super Bowl and featured mothers lamenting the loss of their son's innocence thanks to the attraction power of Old Spice.
Old Spice, Old Spice, great a man on my son. Now he's kissing all the women and his chores aren't done.
Mom Song was a huge hit and earned the company its second Golden Can Lion Award for creative effectiveness, the first having been awarded in 2011 for their breakthrough campaign with Isaiah Mustafa. Speaking of Mustafa, the Old Spice guy would return in 2015 for yet another series of viral hits, this time collaborating with Terry Crews on a series that pitted the two spokesmen against one another.
Do you want your man to smell
Beer glove!
like sophistication?
Beer glove!
Then try Old Spice swagger.
Beer glove! Beer glove!
The ads were created to promote the Old Spice fragrances of Swagger, Timber, and Bear Glove, and all featured Cruz and Mustafa attempting to outdo the other by encouraging the audience to make a smell commitment to their chosen scent. Winning the internet. Although not all of Old Spice's attempts at character building have been successful, the legendary men didn't really have the same impact as either Cruz or Mustafa before him. Their mission continues today with a strong and focused social media presence. Their Twitter page features images of lions, bears, lasers, and mussels, while keeping that all-important nautical theme, of course, and engages its audience with GIFs, pics, witty banter, as well as updates to their sponsorship deals with NASCAR. The company hasn't really lost a step with its marketing either, with its most recent Men Have Skin 2 campaign earning a positive response, even if not reaching the lunatic heights of the Cruz Mustafa era.
These are for men.
Men have skin too.
Even indie horror icon Bruce Campbell at one time enjoyed a well-received slot as an Old Spice spokesman for his series of commercials during the Ahoy campaign.
Smell like a sound, I'm lost in a crowd, and I'm hungry like the wolf.
It's this willingness to risk, to take chances, that has assisted Old Spice throughout the years. Even though not every idea worked, the company's creativity and devil-may-care attitude have made it something of a bulletproof brand. At this point, nearly everyone is aware of Old Spice, even if they don't use any of the company's products.
Wake up to the freshness of the open sea with Old Spice.
And it's this presence, from store shelves and convenience stores to the internet, that's made Old Spice kings of their field.